I seen him fight his last fight. He was tired in that 12-round span. Like, you could tell every time he fight, it's always like a gas tank problem or...
Well, for anybody. But, Tank is a different animal, too. So, it's a great fight. That's why everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he going to win, oh, he going to win. No.
And he's very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't that. And Lamont wasn't having it.
Shakur Stevenson tells Lamont Roach not to fight Gervonta Davis again, calling Davis the best with crazy punching strength. He warns that Tank is smashing his rivals and won't give Roach another lucky break, with Davis now looking stronger than ever. Shakur advises Roach to think twice or deal with some heavy consequences.
I think it'll be a chess match. I think it'll be a boxing match. People talk about his power. His power is great. You can clearly tell that he's cracking.
Shakur Stevenson says if he ever faces Gervonta Davis, it would be the hardest fight of his life. He admits Davis has power, talent, and is hard to predict, calling him a real danger. Shakur knows it wouldn't be a walk in the park and respects Davis as a serious threat who could push him to his limits.
What would be your hardest matchup? Devin Haney, Tank, or would it be Ryan Garcia?
Nah, Ryan, just X him out. He's trash. It's gonna be Tank. I ain't say it before, but I'm gonna say it like me and him the big fight.
Gervonta Davis looks more ripped than ever in fresh training clips, showing how locked in and focused he is. His tweet saying, "Somebody is in trouble," stirred excitement, hinting he's mentally ready to take over. Fans can't stop talking about what Davis might do next. Inside the ring, Roy Jones Jr. calls Gervonta Davis a different kind of monster inside the ropes. While he admits the next fight could go either way, he still believes Tank's raw strength and skills will show up. Jones predicts Davis will take control and remind everyone why he's not someone to be doubted.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta to just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach, but we kind of haven't seen him a lot. So he gets to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first few rounds. But then when the pro rounds take over, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet, or is Tank too superior now as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in at.
Roach is coming up on weight. That, a lot of people keep on saying that's a very big disadvantage for Roach. His power might not transfer to, to this weight class. What do you got to say about that to the critics?
Well, I ain't really got nothing to say to the critics because most of the time they don't know the hell they talking about no weight, but I was able to carry my weight from 154 to heavyweight. You know how to do it right, when your weight, when your punch will come through. You don't know how to do it right, then yeah, you're going to lose your punch. So if he's a good, fundamentally sound fighter with a punch, you're going to have a punch at 130, then you're going to have a punch at 140. If he's not really fundamentally that sound, then he won't. That's why Tank was able to jump around. Tank fought between 130 and 140, whatever weight he wanted to. Why? Because he's a great fundamental puncher. So his punch going to be the same no matter what weight he got on. If you are fundamentally sound, that don't matter. But if you're not fundamentally sound, then yeah, when you move up the weight, you're going to lose your punch.
That's exactly what what I thought you would say, like, breaking that down and making understand that from 130, 135 to 140, I mean, you got to carry that power with you, and how are you going to punch?
If you got fundamentals, you're going to carry it automatically. I took it all with a heavyweight, from a junior middleweight.
Gervonta Davis has brought on a new trainer, showing a new mindset as he prepares for the big rematch. This switch means he's serious, stepping away from his usual style and focusing on better basics and lasting energy. People watching say Davis looks all in, proving he knows this fight is huge.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. And this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area. And it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Kevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
Many believe Davis didn't perform his best in the first clash, maybe from distractions or a bad plan. Fans and experts agree he has more to show. Now with his name on the line, Davis seems hungry to fix things. His actions hint he wants this rematch to shut people up and not Leave questions.
So breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown, but ultimately, it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means, and that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it to Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
Experts and boxing fans have noticed how quiet Davis has been lately. While Lamont Roach keeps talking in interviews and online, Davis is mostly silent. Analysts say this isn't by accident. They think he's quietly working hard. The contrast between Roach's words and Davis's silence has people guessing he's planning something big.
Oh yeah, so we hearing that they got the fight set and scheduled, and it's going to be in Vegas, and it's going to be this August. So yeah, it's basically just been reported. I'm not gonna lie, we knew it was gonna happen because they both said they down to do it. They both said they got to do the rematch because it was too close. All I'm gonna say is I'm hoping that boy Tank, because he been quiet lately. Lamont, you been yapping. Talking about you should have won. You keep dwelling on that little almost close win. That boy Gervonta, that Tank, he been... We ain't never seen Tank in this mode. I will say that Lamont, you're a very skilled fighter. But you should be nervous because we ain't never seen Tank like this. He quiet. Like, he's literally hushed, bro. You just see him training. And now out of nowhere, he's like, hey, bro, we can set the fight up. That's actually dangerous. That's actually dangerous when you think about it. Like, dude ain't said a word. Even once the fight was over and pressed, he got the little hat on. He like, yeah, I mean, we could do the rematch. And he said it. I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train. I'm going to just be quiet and work. Good match to Lamont. I ain't going to lie. If I was Lamont, I'll be a little nervous. You ain't got to be scared, but I will be a little nervous because usually Tank, he the one that's like, yeah, don't bring your moms to the fight. Don't bring your peoples to the fight. Dude been real hush-hush lately. I'm not going to lie, y'all. They said the fight set up for August. I might have to go to this one in person. And August is my birthday month. I might have to go to this one in person, bruh. Because this right here, at this point, they're rivals now. This is like the perfect boxing story. They come from the same side of the the mat. Come from the same gym and camp. I'm not gonna lie, they've been at it since they was kids. This like the perfect boxing story, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, we might have to be in there in person. But like I said, y'all already know how I go. When it come down to it, I'm putting my money on my boy Tank. Lamont, you definitely are skilled, and I'm going into this fight knowing that basically I know you gonna put up a good one. But I got my money on Tank. We ain't never seen Tank like this, bro. Dude quiet, and he ain't saying nothing. The fight just got booked. Oh yeah.
Coach Greg Hackett recently said this fight is do or die for both boxers. He believes neither man has the edge, so they both need to bring their game. He warned that even one mistake could ruin it. For Davis, Hackett said Davis must stay sharp and fight with full focus. There's no room to relax. Now,
rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, trading with this person, trading with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they're very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't there that night. Lamont wasn't having it. And he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
this would be the night we have to see the most focused Tank Davis. Because if he's not the most focused, then he's gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night, and you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for, and he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Former champ Mikey Garcia spoke calmly about the rematch. He said Davis usually learns from mistakes and will come in smarter. Garcia praised Davis's thinking in the ring, but warned none of that matters if he's not mentally ready, if Davis isn't focused. Garcia said he shouldn't even fight.
Hopefully,
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and then he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Suppressed everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns the market back out.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know what, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight. Shit, he'll get a third fight.
Right.
You know?
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that edge?
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. I mean, if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, you know, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're,
it seems like a lot of fighters are going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him do it. Let him do it. I don't know.
Kenny Ellis, a longtime Davis coach, talked about Roach's tough-looking training clips. He agreed Roach is pushing hard, but said gym work and real fight toughness are not the same. He explained that Davis's fights are about more than being fit. It's about taking hits, staying cool, and having heart.
You see a different Lamont Roach coming into this fight?
No, I don't. It's I tell people all the time, no offense, this is not a Lamont Roach, but a fighter can do everything in the gym, man. They can do their push-ups, their pull-ups, they can run 10 miles a day, they can eat their diet, they can change their diet, they can do everything right, but it have to be in your DNA to take pain. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Are you willing and able to take the pain that come with this shit? That's for any fighter, you know?
Right.
And that's the difference in a lot of the fights. You gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Now,
in the actual fight, not the training, in the actual fight.
In the actual fight, what's the difference between, you know, the pain inside the gym gearing up to the fight versus the lights and you know, being on Showtime?
No, the workout pain, muscle sores, fatigue, that's different, but
it prepares you for those lights.
But that pain in the actual fight, man. When shit get rattled, your eggs get scrambled, your eyes get blurry, fucking mouth and nose get fucked up. You know, a little bit of everything. Body shots. You just gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting your equilibrium every other round.
Since the first fight ended with drama, fans haven't stopped arguing about who really won. Some say Roach had it. Others claim Davis was still ahead. Now the rematch feels like the final answer. Both fighters have something to prove, and the crowd wants a clear winner. No more debates, no more doubts.
I just want to know when is the rematch gonna happen at this point, because I'm not gonna lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be them, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving him those day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen, because never know, he might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch, because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
The pressure is bigger than ever for Gervonta Davis now. If he loses again, especially without a good reason, it could damage how people see him in boxing. One bad night is excusable, but a second fall in a high-stakes rematch could hurt his legacy. With his pride and future on the line, Davis must show up big. This fight might define his career.
Is the rematch happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate, because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. Well, they put up a good fight. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half. So what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though, because you just see so much demolishment from one, and then for it to flip to the other, and it just had your mind like, what? It's really how your mind blown. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision of the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely went off of just a personal opinion of the person, a history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank did really show him something at the second half, I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. If you know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that to flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him, as ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. Now I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this shit again.
Coach Kenny Ellis has been hinting at big changes inside Davis's team before the fight. Though he hasn't said exactly what's new, his words suggest something different is happening. Ellis said the rematch won't look like the first one, making fans curious, with Davis bringing a new coach and training harder than ever. The boxing world is watching, from experts to past champs. Everyone agrees Davis can't afford mistakes. While Roach talks loud, Davis's silence shows he's deeply focused.
What do you see?
Both of them, like I said, they both top of the game. I see a competitive fight. Nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
That's a wrap for today's video. Catch you next time, and don't forget to stay tuned.